Hey, Let's do something. Hey, we're live. Hey, I can't say good morning. Well, maybe some places good morning. This is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And we are not at 5 a.m. This is the 311th episode, and it's really about 124 on the East Coast. And this is my actually lunch break, so I figured I'd do a show because I didn't do one this morning because I was fiddling with video processing. Because there's going to be an interview on Friday that we're going to put out at 9 o'clock. That's already set and in the can and ready to go. And then I'll do its grandiose thing and pop up at 9 o'clock. And tomorrow, you can comment during the video and commentary and questions. It's a really good one. Krishna is a senior Scrum Master coach. So he's coaches Scrum teams and he's been doing it for a while. So it'll be a good show. I just wanted to come in because I didn't want to break the what do you want to call it, consecutive shows. So this is our 311th show every day for 311 days. See if we do it for a year or more. Who knows? There's always information. I had going to set up another interview that's coming up too after that. Another gentleman connected with me, and we're setting up to do another interview after that. And just want to encourage anybody who's out there who might want to get interviewed. Feel free to text me, comment on YouTube and LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, any one of those mediums and message me. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about today? Because I got to do it quick because I'm on my lunch break and I'm in between stuff. And it is actually 1:30, so there's probably some meeting I got to go to. But there's two things I wanted to talk to, and I wrote it up on the thing. I want to focus. Focus is a Scrum value, right? I think we've talked about it a few times now. I didn't think I'd talk about that much, but I want to talk about roles in the focus part of the Scrum values, and then also about jobs. I saw a LinkedIn post the other day about someone being out of job for 3 months, and I want to talk about that a little bit. So, first thing, focus roles. Are we focusing too much on the roles and what's possible out there for what we can do? I know this very role-driven. Scrum has 3 roles. That's it. Product owner, Scrum Master, and that's it. There's 3 roles. And then people are always fascinated and really obsessed with what's my role in my team, which I think that's a kind of misnomer in the idea because theoretically, on a team that works together, you take on any role anytime and do whatever the team needs to do. Some people like to do it, but let's say, can a dual-hatted role. So what I wanted to talk about was focus from multiple roles being accomplished by one person. For example, can a Scrum Master also be a tech lead or a technical person, a developer? Can a Scrum Master also be the product owner? Can a approver or PO be a developer too? Can you approve it? So it gets down lower. And then, there's developers and testers. There's different roles. Can you test your own stuff that you coded with a level of thought that's okay? There's distinct reasons why we have the roles and why we separate them. Can they be overlapped a little bit? Yeah, maybe 10% of the time. But those roles like Scrum Master and Tech Team or Dev Team, let's think about that Are you doing either role a service? If you're trying to focus on anything, can you focus on being a Scrum Master and make sure everybody on the team's working well? Or do you need to focus on your dev code that you're writing? You're not going to do either one that good. I don't know. If you have a lot of things, your team's dependent upon you getting some code tested, developed, but you're also the Scrum Master, how much time can you really spend on that? You have to understand that. Can the Scrum Master also be the product owner? I've seen it where both would happen, right? But then again, if you're a Scrum Master and you're making sure your team doesn't have any blockers, and everybody can contribute to that, so there's a little bit to that. But do you have time to work the backlog? If you're the Scrum Master and the product owner, do you have time from a product owner role perspective and the responsibility to making sure the backlog is up to date, working well, written out well if you're taking on both roles? You're going to have to weigh that out. I don't. Sometimes you do it. Sometimes you have to take that role on while you're waiting and for someone to come in and take that role for that position. There's temporary times, but does it make sense to have that dual role had the entire time? The answer is no. If you ever thought about it, the answer is no. You can't do it. You can't do both roles. So the idea about focus on your role, focus on the task at hand, get it done so the team can keep the workflow going. So that's that one. And then developer and tester. Can you be the developer and the tester? I guess you can develop code and then test somebody else's code. As long as you're not testing your code, it works, right? There's also critique on is there a developer and tester roles? Some places there are. There are distinct things that they contribute to the thing, and maybe they don't really overlap. It's going to be a job of the Scrum Master and Agile coach to try to find out how to find the best optimum use of those people in their tasks, so and their roles and skills. So I just want to share that. So I just wonder if you're focused. Do you really think you have time to focus on that role? There's 3 roles for a reason. If you mix them up, can you really focus and get that role done in that sprint to deliver value, quality product to your customer? That's something you're going to have to weigh. Okay. So that's what I had about the focus in the roles. Jobs. Out of a job. So I saw someone post something. And in there he said it was for an HR manager who's out of a job for 3 months. And he says he's looking for his job, life this, whatever. When you start looking for your life job, it's going to take more than 3 months to find that life job, the perfect job. Is there a perfect job out there? I don't know. My question is, what do you make it? Do you make it a perfect job or not? But sometimes you also have to think about, okay, everybody's crying, don't have a job, don't have this. Okay, you're an HR manager. Can you be a recruiter for a couple months until you find the job of your lifetime? I don't see why not. Can you do blogs? Can you help people do their resumes? Can you consult? Can you go online, do social media, charge people $15 to review resumes, to give you feedback? I mean, you've been a quote HR manager for years and been doing it. You have value you can add in the meantime. But what I really worry about people is when they say, I don't have something, I can't do something, I'm out of work for 3 months. There's a lot of work out there, but you just have to be able to be flexible in what you do and may reclassify. Now, there are people that say, well, you're overqualified or you're underqualified for a job. They don't want to hire because they think you're going to leave in 3 months or whatever. That will happen, and I see that happening. But you just have to keep mindful of that. But there's no reason to say, hey, I don't have something for 3 months. There's always something out there. I mean, it may take a month to go through the interview process, depending on the places go. But now here's the other thing. If you're an HR manager and you're doing this process, I would take that 3 months to learn everything there is about the hiring process, so that when you go in to become a hiring manager, you can tell of the good, the bad, and the ugly of the HR hiring process, that when you go interview with somebody, you have a lot of stuff to bring to the table. This is the experience of the customer as in the future employee of my company. I went through that with this process. I'm learning all the good and bad and ugly of this process. So supporting my customer that is a future employee, you have a lot of things you can bring to the table. I find it interesting that you're HR manager, but yet maybe we're focusing or getting the roles and that, like we talked about earlier, that it's so focused, I need to be an HR manager. It's got to be my job of a lifetime. I don't know. Maybe the role of the HR manager is transforming into something else. Maybe for a while you become a recruiter, be on the other side of that, so that you bring that and grow as a person in the future companies. So I just want to offer that out. At a job for 3 months, there's lots of stuff. You might have to take a pay cut. You might have to take a different curve in your career path. It's up to you what you want to decide, but there's lots of stuff out there you can do, and you can be creative and do your own stuff on the side too. So those are the 2 things I have today. It is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. So tomorrow's Fortune Cookie Friday. We got that. We got the interview at 9. It's going to pop up. I'll still do the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum daily blog. So those are the 2 things coming up on Friday. And then we go into the weekend and keep going. So I hope you're having a good day, enjoying your post-lunch if you're on the East Coast. Maybe it's later overseas in Europe. Maybe you're done for your day. Good for you. Still got a whole day, half a day to go. So wish you all good luck. Happy scrumming. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Share with your friends. Ring a little bell. And you all have an awesome day. Happy scrumming. Bye. See ya.